Welcome to another episode of Put in Work. My name is Mark Rankine.
And I'm Luis Guaman.
And today we're being joined by two very, very special guests, one of which is my uncle. Very, very special man.
So proud of this guy.
Thank you, uncle. So let's start with Mr. Locario.
What up?
And we're here with Pavion Photo.
Pavion
Not
Photo.
photos. Photo. First of all, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. It's really, really a pleasure having you on the show. So, first of all, so as you know, Put in Work is really about action steps.
Right.
Like we talk to young entrepreneurs out there blazing the trail, making it possible, showing us how it's done.
Right.
Obviously, I know that you both are very, very successful in what you do, and we wanted to find out, like, what is the trajectory, what's the chronicles of your companies? Now, you run a company together,
Yes.
and then you also have a media company. That you do together as well. So talk to us first about the dating, Mr. Locario. So you have a men's dating coaching business. Talk to me about that.
Well, first of all, our company is called iTax Media.
Yes.
And this is me and Pavion. We run the company, and under the company we have Mr. Locario, which is me, and MrLocario.com, badboymembership.com.
Hey.
We have Papillon Photo. He does photography and videography services.
Nice.
PapillonPhoto.com.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Not photos.
Photo.
Exactly, photo. Right. So through that, the iTax Media umbrella, we have those two things. And so as far as the dating is concerned, what I do is I do dating advice for men and women, and so I give people steps on how to actually get what they want in their dating lives and relationships and stuff like that. So
Nice.
Right.
And then, so for the media company, talk to us about that.
Well, pictures, photos, some photoshopping, you know what I mean? Really, how that really started is that I've been taking pictures since I was 3.
Okay.
The story is that we lived in Jamaica. My dad came to America, and he used to send her back money to buy clothes and stuff. So to kind of help with their long-distance relationship, she was always sending him pictures of how she looked in the clothes. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, I have nobody else here to take pictures of me. So here she got my 3-year-old ass. She put the camera in my hand. She's like, look through the hole, make sure you see mommy, and press the button. So I literally been taking pictures since I was 3.
Wait,
right?
so that's really how it started?
That's literally really how it started. And then they kind of find out I had an uncle who did photography. You see what I'm saying? And my mom, she always had a camera, and therefore I always had a camera. And then I wasn't in any of the family photos because I was always the one taking them.
Even now, he still does this. We all get together and he's like, everybody's like, why is Richie not in the picture? Give the camera to somebody else.
Exactly, I'm always the one. And then so what happened is, me and him started doing work, and then we realized, like, because it was just around the time that Yahoo just blew up, and Google started, and everything needed photos, video. If you weren't doing that, you weren't doing anything, because nobody's really reading words anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we actually, because at the time we were doing music, we took him to a spot to like do an album cover shoot and all of this. And I'm watching the guy work, and I'm like, he did a good job. Like, no, I'm not taking nothing from him, but I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I could do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then so it just kind of snowballed, and then we did a lot of stuff with him. We had our cameras. We first started out with point and shoots and all that stuff, and then finally I said to myself, I need to start doing this for real, right? So I went and I learned about DSLRs, and I realized there are different lenses for different scenes and different purposes. Like a portrait lens is different from a wide lens, and all of these different things. So I'm like, there's more that I need to learn, but let me get my hands on the DSLR. So I got my hands on the DSLR, then I actually went and took a class right here in the city on 14th Street. This place called like New York Photography. I forgot what it was called, but it was a exposure 101 class.
Okay.
And they showed you everything about exposure, ISO, aperture, and shutter speed, and then also how to use the camera, like how to focus, how to zoom, what all that means, and what it means in different settings, different purposes, compression, separation, bokeh, all these different things. You
Let
see
me
what I'm saying?
ask you right there, because for a lot of the people that we work with, or a lot of people who are amateur photographers, they just kind of get a really beautiful camera and they just kind of point, zoom, and shoot. Do you think it's very important for them to learn those intricate things?
I think you have to set some type of basis.
Okay.
Now, most of the information that I learned in that class, I could have gotten it on YouTube, which is another like beautiful, beautiful resource. Spend time on YouTube.
Yes.
That's one great action step right there. Spend time on YouTube learning about your craft. However, the reason why the class was so good was because it set like a base, and I actually got to learn with a professional. Someone who, because having somebody just sit on camera and talk to you is different when you get to ask them questions and learn from them in real time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there might be a little step that you miss where you're confused about, and if you type in their comment section, you got to wait for them to get back to you and so on and so forth.
Right.
So
with the class, it's like
with real-time interaction. So I learned enough because, like I said, I've been taking pictures for a while, so I had a base myself.
Right.
But with that Exposure 101 class, it helped me immensely, and I knew I began to know all the features of my DSLR, and then building on that with YouTube, that's what got me, to that next level. You see what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
And then with that, that's when I started being able to provide professional quality for his stuff. And then everything snowballed, because once I started providing that for him, that's when the clicks started coming.
Right.
Because when people see clear quality thumbnails of him standing next to a sexy bitch, like, it's ridiculous. Like, they'll click. Even if they don't care what he's saying.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They'll click on it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So you go from learning the basics really to professional with dealing with the company that you opened with each other. So what would you say is your specialization for photography?
My specialization is, well, okay, back to the name of the company. I think all kinds of kids succeed. ITAX Media.
Oh, okay.
It's something that we started. It was, our company started as a foursome. But everybody is not on the same page all the time, and we love those guys still. But it's just me and him when it comes to the business. But I think all kinds of kids succeed. ITAX Entertainment was the first company. Now it's ITAX Media. The thing with photography for me is helping people get their message out with quality, with clarity, where people can take your message seriously. Because I think that's some of the most important parts that's missing, where it's like, if you don't really know what you're doing as far as media, people won't take your message seriously. But if you can present a nice picture, a nice video that really shows your purpose, what you're trying to do, they'll take you just a little bit more seriously, and that might give you the edge for you to get to where you're trying to get to.
I would agree. Would you say that you have a specific kind of scenario or a specific kind of, let's say, idea that comes to mind for a client that, cool, we're going to do this kind of scene that that you would dominate in this area? Do you have something like that?
It depends on the client. Like, give me an example.
Okay. No. Let's say if somebody wants to work with you, and then you're going to say, okay, we're going to show exactly your realest version of yourself, right? And then you're going to suggest, okay, cool, maybe we should be at a park, at a beach, at a this, at a that, whatever you specifically feel comfortable with. What do you think you would tell them?
Well, the first thing I would tell them is, and we talked about this, about the philosophy part and everything, but you can't step away from who you are. You can't step away from who you are. So if you, all right, you got some photographers who they say they're a street photographer, right? But you love hanging out in the village, but every time you do street photography, you're taking pictures in Times Square. Right? What I would tell him is, let's sit right here in your neighborhood and let's look around. Let's find some creativity. Let's be creative and find you here.
Would you say, is that what you did to really find your specialty or to find your rhythm?
See, me and him been working for 15 years. So when it came time,
is that long?
Yeah. That's another action step. Have patience and grind for a while. But me and him been, going hard for 15 years, and we kind of have like a symbiotic thing going where I kind of know what he wants to express. So, like, for example, we went to Orlando and did a photo shoot, and I made some relationship with some models out in Orlando. And I wanted to do the shoot where it was two models, and both of them was grabbing on his shoulder. But they're standing behind him. So I made sure I set my aperture correctly, where the girls, even though they're grabbing on him and they're behind him, they're faded out, and his face is the only thing in clear focus. Because the focal point, because we talk when it's dating and everything, but we talk a lot about manhood, self-improvement as a man, things like that. So the focal point is you. You're trying to chase these girls and everything, but still you have to work on yourself. You see what I'm saying? So producing photos like that is what we specialize in as far as that, because again, all kinds of kids succeed. I think all kinds of kids succeed. It's really about the person.
Why I ask these two questions really is because what you just described, really, it goes into what works for me, or what should I be doing. Do you know, I just got off the phone with somebody, I was just mentoring somebody 2 days ago, where they asked me, I don't know what I should do, you know, with my life, or I don't know exactly what kind of profession I should be in. And you really don't know until you go really to your roots, like you just said, and you really look around your neighborhood, and then you really experience what it is that you want, that you like, that you can provide value to, that you feel at least partially passionate about, and you need to taste a lot of different things. You need to taste a lot of different things. Then you find a specific rhythm that you know you're confident with, and then you just go all in with that. That is essentially what you just said, and that's exactly what you can do for any industry. So I wanted to make sure that there it is.
Like what we do as far as the relationship stuff, the dating stuff, because that all came about because, like you said earlier, we used to do music. I used to rap, used to produce beats, and so part of that was even in the messages in our music, it was the same message I'm doing now with relationships. Like, you know, understanding self, understanding who you are. And but see, the thing is that you have to understand how your talents, because I think what it is that, and this is another thing that people gotta understand. You may want to do a certain thing, and that thing may not work out exactly how you want. So, for example, I was like, I'm gonna be the biggest rapper ever, you know. And then it was like, I kind of fell out of love with that to a certain extent, you know what I mean? But I still liked being in front of people, spit a certain message. So how do I do that in another form? So I'm basically doing the same thing.
Same
you know what I mean?
It's amazing.
And so what happens is that once you figure out what your talents are, there's so many different ways you can express that. So a lot of people get discouraged because they're like, oh, I wanted to do this and it's not working out this way. Well, what else can you do with your talents that has the same energy and the same rhythm that you can put into something else to actually be successful? And another thing too that I wanted to just touch on was what you got to understand the fact that Pavion does photography, I do public speaking, I write books and everything like that. What you have to do is you got to understand that when you have a team of people, you have to make sure that you're exploiting everyone's talents. And what I mean is, and this is for, let's say for example, you have people, I know there's a lot of like artists out there. Right now there's probably a group of 5 rappers who are friends. You feel what I'm saying? What they should do is they should say, hey, listen, you're going to be the main person, and the 4 of us are going to back you up by producing your stuff, marketing your stuff, whatever. So now, instead of all 5 of y'all trying to make it, we're going to choose one person to be the face, and then we're going to put all the energy into actually pushing that. So you'll go farther with just you making you the face and us the background, so that we can make all the stuff happen behind the scenes, so we can all actually succeed, instead of all of us trying to 5 just be rappers and we have no team. See what I mean? So
it's kind of like Kevin Hart and his team.
Right, exactly. So you leverage what you have with the people that you have, instead of trying to everybody's doing the same thing. It's like, let's all push in this direction to get more things going.
So I kind of wanted to go backtrack a little bit to what you say, because here on the Put In Work show, we always, and I keep saying this over and over, we don't want the rah-rah, we don't want the motivation, we want practical stuff. And you said something which you said to me, and it kind of shook me in my entire business and what I was doing. You're like, quality stuff. You need quality shit, because there's so much noise. Everybody's putting out content, but it's the few who put out very, very good, high quality stuff that gets the attention. Talk to me, and just so you know, you guys, he flew into New York, and he was like, we're doing a photo shoot together. I'm gonna show you real fucking photos. And it was. I was just like, God damn, is that me? So, that's his MO, like quality stuff. So talk to me about like somebody who's like coming up. Like, how do you, because what a lot of people, they do is like, oh, I'm a good singer, you're a good video guy, or you have a camera, let me team up with you and we just like figure it out. What would you say in terms of like the quality suffering in an operation and like how to find the happy medium? Like, do you suggest like just putting in money, putting out a better quality content, or like teaming up with like an amateur friend? What would you say to that to someone who's starting out?
Well, photography specifically it's delicate to negotiate. The reason why I say that is because it can get real expensive really fast.
Yes.
So what I would say is, as far as photography, is work on your craft.
Okay.
Work on your craft. That means take that 101 class, or spend hella time on YouTube.
Yes.
Spend serious time on YouTube and learn all the basics first, and know what you're doing. The reason why you need to know what you're doing is that expensive equipment doesn't do anything if you don't know how to use it. You see what I'm saying? You could go out and buy the most expensive, because, okay, I'm very thankful for the success we have, where there's stuff that I can go out and buy now that I couldn't before.
Sure.
But even after I buy it, I'm still learning how to use it. You see what I'm saying?
So buying it is not the key. That's not the end.
Let me tell you something. Money means nothing.
Right.
Money means nothing until you learn how to help people with the quality of your talents. Money doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Because once you learn how to help people with quality talent, money will come. Trust me, you don't have to worry about it.
It's a byproduct.
Exactly.
I love the word you used before.
Money is really just a byproduct of being able to help people with quality services.
Sure.
That's really it. So the thing I would say is, pay attention to the details. I could talk about photography all day, but other things that somebody's trying to do, like public speaking or music, like anything you're doing, pay attention to the details. Like, there's this guy that we know, and I'm not gonna say any names, but he's good. He's known for other things, but he put out an album the other day, and it's on Billboard, and it's doing pretty all right. But I noticed that he should have done his mixes a little better.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's a guy that does a lot of things. He's like a jack of all trades. So it's cool. You understand what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make is, if that's your thing, that one thing that you really love to do, pay attention to the details and learn. I'm not saying you got to go to college and get a degree, because I don't even support, let me not even.
Sure.
But anyway, you get what I'm saying. But read a book, get something basic and concrete that you can build a foundation on that goes into your craft.
So, Mr. Photo, so real quick, on top of that, that's level 1, right? Or level 0, we'll call it level 1.
Yeah.
So for level 1, that's what you do. Learn, express yourself, or open up to whatever it is, the craft, right? So what's right after that? How do you know you're not at the beginner stage anymore?
Okay.
You're trying to make people pay for you, pay for photography or for your public speaking.
Right.
But you're doing public speaking at, let's say, your mom's party or whatever, just for free. Okay. Well, when do you know you should be getting paid for these things?
That's
when do you know?
Yeah.
Well, this
when
is
do
the
you know?
thing. You know when you should get paid for stuff, when you actually put out there that you want to get paid for stuff. And this is the thing that most people don't understand. So what happens is, you can literally, this is the thing, it's really good to be good at what you're doing. It's really good to be crisp with whatever you're doing. Everything is like top notch. But the problem is, people wait for it to be at that point before they say,
That's
I'm
true.
putting my services out there. So you could be a guy who doesn't know how to use, like, let's say if you're trying to sell your services or whatever, and you're using video or to promote your music or promote your whatever. You may say, I only have this one little camera in this dark room or whatever, and your videos look like crap. It doesn't really matter as long as you're continuing to put stuff out there, and as you go, then you'll start to learn other stuff. Because someone's going to tell you, hey, listen, I saw your video, and you could do this a little more. Then you'll learn it. This is where you say, what's the turning point? Someone's going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear it. They're going to be like, you got to switch this up or whatever. So then you listen to that information. But you start getting paid literally the moment when you decide you want to get paid. And also, and this is the thing, and this is the weird part about it, and this might sound crazy, you don't actually have to know what you're doing a lot of times when you're trying to do what you do. So let's say if you're trying to sell recipes for cupcakes, you can literally not know how to make cupcakes and write a book about cupcakes. But this is what's going to happen. If you want to sell them, people will buy it, But then when they realize that you don't know how to make cupcakes or your book is garbage, then you're gonna stop making money. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can start doing the process, and as time goes on, the marketplace will let you know what you need to work on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm gonna add to that real quick. The best way to get into the marketplace is to help people.
Exactly.
So true.
That's
Help
very true.
people.
So
and I'm not just saying do shit for free. I'm not saying that. I'm saying help people, right? And what I mean by that is, like you were saying, start the process.
Right.
Find as many people as you can that need or can use your services and figure something out with them. It doesn't have to necessarily be for free, but remember, you need shit too.
Yeah.
You need shit too.
Yeah.
So you might need somebody to take behind the scenes footage of you doing your thing so you can use that footage to advertise your services. So like, hey, I'll do this for you. Just take some pictures of me while I do it for you.
You know,
or something. You see what I'm saying?
I'm super appreciative of you actually saying that.
Right, right.
Because the fact is that, you know who says that all the
Because
time?
not everything is money.
Everybody says that. Like, who says that all the time is Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Right.
And providing value, that's what you just said.
Exactly.
What a lot of people don't understand is that there's a lot of different ways how you can provide value. Not just because that's what people usually think.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for free, and then eventually it'll come back. So, no, you can do a bartering system. It's building relationships, it's building your network, right? And then essentially things happen where you're continuously putting yourself out there, and that means you're going to keep getting paid, keep getting not paid, but you're going to try to get paid. Then those things come together, and you start making more consistent money. That's essentially what happens.
Let me tell you, real quick. I just want to say something about networking. I just want to say something about networking. I can go in my phone right now and send out a mass text and say, yo, do you need any photography services? And I guarantee you, by the end of today or tomorrow, somebody's going to get back to me.
Multiple.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I remember when things were slow and I was still at my 9 to 5. I used to sit, instead of doing work like I was supposed to, I'm on my damn phone. Hey, what's up? I remember I do photography. Boom, boom, boom. I sent out like 15 messages. And then by the end of the day, I'm hearing from people that I haven't heard from in months.
Yeah.
Hey, my mother's doing this thing. Could you come out and take?
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I remember when I was getting started in my business in the men's styling, you and Locario gave me some invaluable tips. Like, Locario was like, listen, you have to be consistent. So if you're on a daily, you cannot miss.
Right.
Like, your following is going to dip. Like, just understand people are going to disengage from you if you miss. And then you said, you know, like, offer some value, like under every shot. Like, don't just be like, oh, Mr. GQ. Like, offer something. Like, show people how they can do this too. Show like the history or something. Like, give some value.
Right.
And trust me, it radically changed the game for me.
Right.
And I was just like you guys, I've been following both of your stuff, and you're so consistent with the content. Like, Mr. Locario is definitely like hustling all the time. And it's just
hold on, MrLocario.com. Every day, there's a new video every day.
No joke. No.
Yep.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to say about that too, and this is what entrepreneurs need to understand, is that you have to do things even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Right? You understand what I'm saying? That's another thing. You gotta make sure, because there's days where I wake up and I'm tired and I'm upset about something and I'm going through something, but what you gotta understand is your audience doesn't care. Okay? This is what you gotta understand.
Yeah.
Your audience, they might care if they like, they like you, they think they, but they want remember, you're still delivering a product, you're still delivering a service. So, think about it like anything else. Like when you go out to, McDonald's, or you go out to buy some clothes at the Gap or whatever, if the store's closed, you're going to be pissed off. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're expecting, the service. So it's the same thing as you. You are the product. You are the service. You understand?
I've never thought of it like that.
There's no excuses. Like, you have to remember that even if you don't feel like it, you have to be accountable, and you have to be there for your customers and your base of who's trying to work with you. Because once that happens where you're just like, oh, I don't feel like it, I was tired or whatever, just that that one thing, and sometimes it will snowball into other things, and then that's when you mess up your business.
Right. I'm gonna add to that real quick, because the thing with consistency, right, is that you have to understand that people are paying for an experience.
Yes.
That notion is the reason why brick and mortar stores are falling off, because the experience of seeing something in vivid quality on a little screen, pressing a button, typing in a couple of numbers, and it showing up at my door with no sweat off of my brow is a beautiful experience.
Yes.
That's why brick and mortar stores are leaving. So it's the same thing with the content and providing. Because I'm telling you, like, you know, I mean, I'm spoiled because I can get the game from him anytime I want. So I don't follow him as much as I should. Like, but there are people on YouTube that I follow.
Yeah.
And when they take breaks and don't
It's
put
a
up
problem.
video, I'm mad.
It's
Like,
a
I'm like, yo,
problem.
what's good?
It's
Like,
a massive problem.
where is this dude at?
Yeah,
Like, I want to
yeah.
hear my,
That's
you know
so
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's
Like,
so
like
true.
this is dude, he does social commentary on stuff, and there's so many things going on. LeBron James just made a school, and all these things are going on, and I'm like, yo, I need to hear your take on this.
take on it,
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's like he said,
yeah.
I want to hear him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Because you're accustomed to that voice, you grew an appetite for that voice.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's so funny, like, I just love the way you put it, Mr. Locario. Like,
Yeah.
people are, it's like a store. You show up to the store and it's closed.
And
it's like you're mad. You're like, that's crazy.
You are the store.
So,
Exactly, right.
I mean, here's something that that's a really, really big thing nowadays. Like, for most businesses, you have to team up with somebody.
Right.
How do you choose the right partner? Like, obviously, like, you guys started with 4, so clearly it didn't work out with like 2 of the other people, you know, but you guys figure out that, okay, I worked with this person. Can you talk a little bit about, number 1, how to get along after you've decided that, okay, he's the one, and number 2, how did you choose what to look for in a business partner?
Okay.
Yeah. And then you as the behind the scenes man, do you ever like, I can be upfront too. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you fucking learn how to do the camera. Like, yeah, like, my turn.
Well, listen,
How does that go?
Well, I'll say about the front thing.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand that the front man is the money. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever.
Okay, okay.
So right here, right here.
Right there, right? Yo, get a close up.
You know what I mean is that if you're
Yeah.
you know, you could be arguing with your friends about who's going to be in the front, and then y'all be broke arguing, or you
Yeah.
can say, let's do what we got to do to get the money, and then that's what it is, because, you know.
I love that it's a front man who's saying all
No,
that.
I'll say the same shit. Nah, I'm just
I'm tell you. Also, you got to also understand this too, is that everyone technically is a front man, because I can't do no photography. I don't know.
Can't do it without him, right?
Like, I don't know anything about, like, I know certain things, but I don't know what he knows.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And there's certain things that I do that he doesn't do. And this is what's so great about having your team. Because just like a person likes to have a cameraman, that cameraman is so important because that cameraman delivers that video that everybody sees.
Sure.
So everybody has to, you know, play their part. But as far as you're saying, like, how do you pick somebody that's good on your team? You have to, so fortunately we were friends already, and we just happened to be good at working together. We had the same passions for that, but everybody might not have that.
Right.
But what you need to do is that, as we also work with other people outside of us too.
Sure.
And so we see them as our team also. But what we did was we saw that they had the same level of professionalism as us.
Right.
And so what happens is you might have to go through certain, because you might meet 5 people, and the 5th person you meet is the one. The other 4, they fall off, they're flaky, they're not really about what they're trying to do.
Right.
So it might take time for you to find someone that you can, to do that with.
Yep.
But when you find them, you'll know because they're on the same level as you. Like I used to host the show on the Dish Network. And there was a guy who was working, he was the head guy that was putting it together. And so I used to host the show, it was like a talent show. And so I remember one day I was talking to him and he was like always on point, he had everything like going. I said, yo, I was like, I appreciate that you're so on point. And he was just like, yo, I just thought this is how you're supposed to do stuff. You know what I mean? And what was funny was that he told me that he was like, I was the most professional person he's worked with. So it was like we both had the same level of work ethic and professionalism.
And respect.
So, right, so when you find that, that's the people you continue to work with. Other people you just toss them to the side and like, okay, you got it,
Yeah, so I'm gonna add to that. So the thing is, like, when you're finding like a close knit team member for your company or whatever it is, find someone that when they do what they want to do, they're a compliment to you, and you do what you want to do, and you're a compliment to them. And then what happens is you move forward as a company. Because if ever you feel as if you're doing something because you have to, or you're doing something for the other person, then you're not something's not right. You're not actually doing what you really need to do. Everything that I do it because I want to do it. I'm never at work.
Now this is kind of what I would think is your definition of like your level, right? What you just said, that's like your level. That's definitive for that.
Right.
You're saying your level from what? Because I want to backtrack from what you were saying before. Can you define a little bit of what your level is? I feel like I know what it is from my heart. I'm going to express that in a second, but what is that? You want people to be on your level, and I agree with that as a partnership?
Right.
What is that?
Well, the thing is, when we talk about your level, it depends on where you see yourself. Meaning, like, I get places on time. When I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. I make sure that that my products or whatever I'm doing is quality. And so if someone's trying to work with you or trying to work with someone else, if you get somewhere on time all the time and they're always late, that's not going to work. You know what I mean? If your stuff is high quality and they're trying to do low quality stuff, that's not going to work. You know what I mean? So that's what it is about. Like, who do you match with? You know what I mean? And the same thing with like relationships. I tell people.
Yeah.
When you're on the same page, you guys can click together. It's the same thing in business.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. My take on that, really, if I were to put it into a sentence, is really if our core values are the same, or enough to really complement each other in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. Because you see, one of the first questions that when Mark and I were discussing if we should work with each other, we talked about our core values, really. So I saw Mark. Hi. So I saw Mark, and I saw his Instagram, and I saw how he spoke, and I saw everything was real, and he provided the results and things of that nature, and it was great. And the thing of, right after that, when we started discussing if we should do something together, we had a list of questions for each other, and one of the first ones was, why are you doing this, right? Like, why are you working? Why are you doing so much? Why do you look, this good every day, right? Why are you on point every day? And it came to the core values, and it really overlapped. And that's why I feel like we're really strong.
It's good. It's true. So a big thing that causes a conflict within partnerships, money.
Okay.
How do you guys make sure that is not
50-50?
Everything 50-50 down the line.
50-50.
Yeah. But also, what about the responsibility? Because if one person is doing more than the other, like, how does it? Talk to me about this. And we want to explore it because it's real, bro. Like this, it ruins.
It is.
Partnerships.
No, it is.
So talk to me.
Right. Well, it all depends too, because with us, we built the company together. You
right.
know what I mean? So So it depends on what type of partnership you're having. So if you build something, you bring someone in, and you're like, okay, you're my partner, but since I built this, it's going to be 70-30 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That could be a situation. But as far as someone doing more work, see, the thing is that if it's never really more work, it's just different work.
And with us, again, I'm just always grateful.
Yes.
I think that's another, again, it's philosophy, but it's still an action step. It is a very important action step.
Right.
Don't ever underestimate the power of being grateful.
Yes.
Don't ever do that. Reason why being grateful is so good is because when you're trying to run your business, shit is gonna fuck up all the time, all the time. But if you get bogged down with all the shit that's fucking up, you might stop. You might give up. You might lash out at somebody that you care about, or somebody that could have helped you, or you could have walked on set and shook everybody's hand except for the one person that was gonna help you for your next project, right?
That's true.
Be grateful. Be grateful. Be nice. Be cool, right? And appreciate what's going right. Don't concentrate on what's going on wrong. That shit gonna go wrong regardless. Yes. Concentrate on what's going on right. Appreciate it. Okay, so again, I said that to say this. I'm grateful for the relationship that I have with this man.
Yes, of course.
Let me go back real quick on the being grateful, because I said it was an action step, but let me actually break down the action step of being grateful.
Yeah. Do it.
Get up every morning. Before you do anything, get on your phone, open up a new fresh notepad page, and type in everything you're thankful for. That's action steps.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Get on your laptop, literally type the shit out. I'm glad to be breathing. I'm glad to wake up in my right mind. I'm glad I have a mother that loves me. I'm glad I can see. I have a computer to type this on right now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do that shit for like 30 days. And then when you think about you as a person, yo, the power that you'll feel just being thankful for all the things that make you special. Yeah. Nobody will be able to fucking stop you. Amen. Nobody. Okay.
There's 3 different industries right here, but you guys are one company, but still 3 that we just talked about. Right. From what I do from sales consulting, that is also the first thing that I go over. Right. The entire first part of my entire sales course, whether it's in person or online or whatever it is, that it talks about how you actually think of yourself and what you do to yourself and how you speak to yourself and what you're doing for yourself. And it always starts with yourself and how you exude everything out. That's exactly it.
Our like for the dating and relationship stuff, our slogan is the truth is inside you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like when we do our podcast, which is the Bad Boy Show on Patreon. Look that up. The Bad Boy Show on Patreon. At the end of every show, that's what we ended with. The truth is inside you. You see what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that, brother. I love that so much. The truth is inside of you, and you're gonna help them unlock it, and bring it out.
Really?
Really? I love it. I love it.
It's so serious.
I love it. Yeah. So to put a nice bow on this conversation, first of all, you guys are unfreaking believable. The gems, the tools, the nuggets. It's great. Where can the people find you? Plug all your social media, your website,
projects.
Yeah, your projects.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, go to Papillon Photo at Papillon Photo on IG, PavionPhoto.com, Papillon Photo Weddings. Papillon Photo on Facebook.
Do you have an Instagram?
That's IG at Papillon Photo. That's the Instagram.
At Pavion Photo.
No
S.
Yeah. No S.
I'm always doing. Right now I'm based in Orlando, but I'm in New York right here right now. So if you got a project in New York, just holler at me. Like, I got things that I'm doing all week. So it's. I'm a traveling photographer.
Nice.
I do my thing.
And you do videos too, right?
I do videography as well. Videography as well.
Yep. And you can check me out at Mr.Locario.com, and also that's MRLOCARIO.com, and also check me out at badboymembership.com.
Yes.
It's a membership program where you get 45 to 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month, and also you can hit me up at realest.Locario. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And also I have another website called undeniablegame.com, so you can get a free program that teaches you 7 tips on how to really attract beautiful women. So you can check out all that.
He's trying to be modest and shit. Yeah. This is the bad boy of the dating game. That's who he is. So that's why he has the bad boy membership. That's why we have the Bad Boy Show. Right. That's a show that we do together.
Right. And that's another thing about business. You got to know how to market yourself and brand yourself.
Yes.
So people know what they're getting and they're used to that, and then it becomes your thing.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and call him Hitch.
Yeah. He's better than Hitch though.
He's better than Hitch
because he actually tells the truth.
Exactly.
So.
You guys burn.
Right.
Well, that has been another episode of Put in Work Show. Please put a comment, like, subscribe. Please let us know how you feel about the podcast. What can we do better? If there's somebody else you'd like us to have on the show from any industry, we try to give you as much as we can. We try to give you the practical stuff. Fuck that rah shit. You can do it. Just be determined, work hard. No, we're going to break it down for you. So whatever you need, let us know.
Ooh. And if you had something that you found valuable, any one thing that you think somebody else could take away from, make sure to share it.
Yes. Thank you for that, Louis. So with that, it's a wrap. Thank you for joining us.